Tyson made his professional debut on March 6, 1985, against Puerto Rican Hector Mercedes. From the very beginning of the fight, the 18-year-old Tyson pounced on his opponent without giving him a single chance.
Swinging hooks to the body from Tyson, and if that is it in round one, that is a pretty impressive professional debut from the man who so nearly went to the Olympics in Los Angeles last year.
Mike Tyson versus Trent Singleton. In the first round, Mike had a magnificent streak of 4 punches, the last of which landed right on Singleton's jaw. Knocked down. Trent got to his feet and continued the fight. However, he could not resist for long.
He gets a mandatory 8 under New York State Athletic Commission rules, and already from what little we've seen Mike Tyson in his pro career, down goes Singleton again, left hook this time and body, and he's just a perpetual motion machine so far. This isn't going to go too long. Trent Singleton in all sorts of trouble. We're already in round one. The Mike Tyson, the young fledgling professional, 2 fights, 2 wins, the debut on the 6th.
Mike Tyson versus Don Halpin. In the first minute of the 4th round, Halpin misses several incoming punches. Bouncing off the ropes, Don falls to his knees. He gets up and continues the fight, which did not last long.
Can Tyson finish this? I think so. I think so. That's enough. Now that last right hand, that was questionable. Tyson celebrates.
Mike Tyson versus Ricardo Spain.
Shake hands, come out boxing. Good luck, man.
Mike Tyson, 3 fights.
After a series of 12 unanswered blows from Tyson, Spain tried to find salvation in a clinch. Immediately after, Mike sends him to the canvas with a left hook.
It's like a steam hammer.
Ricardo gets up by the count of 8 and immediately is sent back to the floor with another powerful left hook. The referee was forced to stop the fight.
I don't believe it. That's well inside a minute. Spain can't believe it. Tyson absolutely destroyed him there. Well,
Mike Tyson versus John Alderson. Mike started very aggressively as always. Despite John's superiority in weight, height, and arm length, he was unable to keep Mike at a distance.
Well, he has got the Gino will have a busy night tonight. Tyson, you heard documented, of course, the young man fighting very well. So there's the right, good countering right hand, and that's stunned Alderson. Well, backs up another right hand, combination by Tyson, and he goes on an attack. Didn't help, but I guess is the only man, and this one may not go much longer. Crushing right hand, and all left side starts to ooze some blood now, and Tyson goes right back in on top of it. Tyson trying for his 5th straight knockout. Alderson weary on his feet.
Just trying to survive now. He's got to throw something out, though. He's laying in with Tyson.
Ruling that as a split, not a knockout. Alderson peeking in over that swelling left eye. And here comes Tyson. Alderson throwing the right hand.
In round 2, a second before the bell, Tyson's right cross crashed into his opponent's head. Knocked down. On the count of 6, Alderson gets up and walks to his corner but refuses to continue the fight.
His own right. There's a good straight right hand by Mike Tyson. That sent Alderson down.
Mike Tyson versus Lorenzo Kennedy.
25th in Birmingham, Michigan. Over Vernon Bridges. And look at Tyson go right after Kennedy. Now Kennedy is a boxer, but gets knocked down with the first left hook he takes. Look at the power of Alderson. Kennedy, little shaky now, takes a right hand. This one could end in a hurry.
At the end of the first minute of the first round, Mike again squeezes Lorenzo in the corner and delivers 4 unanswered blows to Lorenzo's head. Kennedy drops to one knee. and Joe Cortez is forced to stop the beating.
That was right. When he saw that last right hand land, he could just feel the fact that Kennedy would be sagging to the canvas. Boy, Mike Tyson is powerful, huh? Oh, wow. Mike Tyson barely built up a sweat. But you know he was warm and ready. He came out fired up. It is 7-0 with 7 knockouts. Lorenzo.
Mike Tyson versus Michael Johnson.
Hold on to your hats. Nobody thinks it's going to go that far. Up, there he goes. He's just going to pull it.
From the very first seconds, Mike begins to attack his opponent, pressing him to the ropes. A left hook to the body sends him into a knockdown.
I'm glad you pointed it out because down he goes. The left hook just buried him, dug him in the rib.
Johnson gets up and wants to continue the fight, but a right cross knocks him out. Mike Tyson versus Donnie Long.
Both received your instruction in the dressing room.
After the bell sounded, the boxers met in the center of the ring, and Donnie Long immediately makes an unforgivable mistake when fighting Mike Tyson. He stands directly opposite from him and does not move.
Here today, Long is 27.
Oh, wow. Well, that was quick.
The first one, Cappuccino looking on closely. Here comes Tyson. Left hand again.
Well, he nearly sent Long out of the ring with that left hook.
Tyson. Oh, Long is down. Second time.
In the middle of the first round, Mike hits a powerful left hook to Long's chin and sends him into a knockout.
Look, but give Mike that's it. Wow.
The left hand puts him down. He collapses, and this one is over as the doctors rush into the ring.
Make no mistake about it. That was a good performance. Not just because of what he did.
Mike Tyson versus Robert Collet. From the very beginning of the fight, Collet tried to keep Tyson at a distance with a long jab. But taking advantage of his overwhelming speed, Mike leaves his opponent no chance.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mike Tyson versus Sterling Benjamin. In the first round, Mike pushes his opponent to the ropes, then throws a left hook. Knockdown. After the referee counted the knockdown, Mike Tyson again pounced on the opponent and launched 12 unanswered punches on him. Literally, a second before the referee was about to intervene and stop the beating, Tyson carries out a powerful blow to the liver, and Benjamin is again on the canvas. Mike Tyson versus Eddie Richardson.
Well, you're looking at a very interesting Asian height and reach.
That's the Amato, of course. Right hand, Mike. First punch he threw.
From the very beginning of the fight, it became clear that it would not last long. Richardson held his hands low and tried to keep Tyson at a distance with a sluggish jab. After the third clinch, Mike pushes his opponent into the corner of the ring and throws his signature left hook to the head. Richardson goes back onto the canvas.
Almost over. Carried him through the air. And it's over.
I see right now a major flaw and problem in Mike Tyson's career. And that's footage on it.
I'm telling you what, it's hard to do. Mike Tyson, without a doubt.
Mike Tyson versus Conroy Nelson. Round 2. Working with a jab, Tyson puts himself in a good position, and taking advantage of Nelson's failed strike, puts a left hook into Nelson's jaw. Conroy falls onto the canvas.
Fast becoming a Tyson trademark. Well, fight number 13, unlucky 13? I don't think so.
Overhead right, then taking him out with a vicious left hand.
Mike Tyson versus Sammy Scaff.
He's a shame. Now look at the height difference, at least 6 inches.
The first round. In one of the corners, Tyson ducks under his opponent's blows, and again lands his signature left hook to the head. By this point, Sammy's face was already covered in blood. Another left hook, and Tyson knocks the opponent down. The referee stops the fight.
Scaff tried to get up. His nose is cut with the side of his nose.
Breathing in.
Mike Tyson versus Mark Young. In the middle of the first round, Young makes an unforgivable mistake. He walks forward without hitting, completely covering his entire view with his gloves. Tyson makes a terrific side pull, throwing a powerful right uppercut to the head and knocking down his opponent. The blow threw Young to the ropes from the very middle of the ring. Another victory by knockout.